Cannabis has been around for 4,000 years, but it wasn't made illegal in the UK until 1928. Many famous people have smoked it, even the President of America. In the last few years, it's been reclassified from a Class C to Class B, meaning if you're caught with it, you can receive up to a 5-year prison sentence. And if you're found supplying it, you face up to 14 years inside. In 2006, the police were busting 800 cannabis factories a year, but this rocketed to nearly 7,000 in 2009. I want to discover who's buying and who's supplying the most popular illegal drug in Britain. The start of my search is taking me to the heart of England. Just arriving here at a pub in the West Midlands, Stourbridge, to meet Michael and Rob, who are two big cannabis smokers. Very enthusiastic about the fact they do that. They're quite happy and contented, apparently. And they also play in a band, which isn't... it's not too much of a cliche, is it? But they've got beards as well. This is Michael and Rob, one half of a band called Jimmy the Fool. They're spending their day off from work practicing in their local pub. I want to find out from the boys what it is they love about cannabis, and more importantly, do they know where they get it from?
Mr. Alexandru! Oh, wow. Yasu!
How you doing, mate?
All right, welcome to the Black Country.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, please. Yeah, what an introduction. Finally.
How you doing?
I'm all right, mate. You must be...
Michael.
Michael, nice to meet you, Michael.
Hey,
and Rob.
Rob,
nice to meet you. How are you?
All right, not too bad.
Right. So, yeah, thanks for letting me kind of speak to you. I take it you're a big cannabis enthusiast.
We are, yeah.
What's your relationship with cannabis then?
Smoked it since about 10 years ago, just over. Smoke it to enjoy music, play music, write music, and just to chill out, really.
So it sounds like it's a really positive thing then for you.
For me, I think it's like, I don't know, like finishing work and just relaxing and having a spliff.
Yep.
And just completely, forgetting the whole day and just, I don't know, play some guitar and then that's it.
Should we pop outside?
Another spliff then?
It's going to get dark, so it always gets dark.
Jazz cigarette.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to pop out?
Yeah, I'll walk with you.
I know a lovely little spot nearby. Okay. I'm going to go over this road. Do you want to run or do you want to...
Let's have a run.
As smoking indoors is banned, the pair like to take their recreational breaks in the nearby park.
So, you still have to, into your early 30s, you still have to sort of sneak over the park to have a split in the freezing cold.
Well, you're going to have the police pulling up and going, excuse me, sir. And then you've got to go through all the rigmarole of going there, down there, explaining what you were doing when they know full well what you were doing, and then it's just a waste of their time and mine, really. So it's better to stay out of the way and just do what you've got to do, really.
How much do you smoke then? I didn't ask you that. How much do you actually get for a week?
I don't know, it depends. Depends on what you're doing, what your finances are like, what the availability is like.
Right. When
you don't grow it yourself, but I don't know. No set amount.
What are you smoking actually? What type of... Are we looking at skunk?
It's ganj. It's whatever it is.
You don't actually know exactly what strain it is or anything like that? Does that not worry you a bit though? You don't know what you're getting?
No. Because it's regular. I don't need to know the breed because we've got a dependable fella who helps us out.
It's like a regular source, so it's got a regular source. You kind of trust the guy you keep buying it off.
And he doesn't do it. The way that you grow it is you can grow it in bulk or you can grow quality. We go for the quality. If you want the bulk, head to the town centres and you'll find it nearly everywhere. Thank you very much. Did you want to?
No.
That's fine.
So this guy you got this from, does he grow his own stuff or does he get supplied to?
He gets it from a friend.
See, but that sort of goes against knowing where you got it from.
No, because I know his friend.
Oh, you know his friend?
Yeah.
So how many steps away from it being grown are you then?
2.
2 steps? Yeah. Because it's just that I just wanted to clarify because, sometimes you are putting money in the pockets of someone who's a bit dodgy.
No.
These are not dodgy guys, these are not...
Michael and Rob believe they're not really harming anyone because they know who they get their weed from. But what happens if users don't know the source? Many people who smoke cannabis haven't got a clue where their weed comes from, and that could be a problem. To find out how cannabis is supplied, I need to speak to a dealer who can tell me about how the business side of cannabis works, from street level up to the very top. I'm in South London to meet a man who used to sell cannabis.
I'm here to meet a guy called Clyde. All I know about him so far is that he's a former cannabis dealer. He should be hanging around here somewhere. Just give me a wave, I think this is him. Clyde?
How you doing, son?
Nice to meet you, Clyde. I'm James.
Nice to meet you. Nice
How
to meet you,
doing?
bro. Yeah, I'm well.
You well?
I'm really well, bro.
Good, man. Good. Thanks for meeting me.
No, you're welcome, man. Show you the market.
Clyde began smoking when he was 13 and moved into dealing when he was still at school.
How old were you when you first started dealing cannabis?
When I was 15, that's when I became, I would say, a dealer. Small-time dealer. It was never anything heavy with me, but that's when I started dealing.
So what was the difference between before you were 15 and then what you class as becoming like a real small-time dealer? What was the difference?
Before, it was just about me. It wasn't about anybody else. It was just if I picked up something, it was just for me. I might go chill with the boys, have a smoke, and that was it. When I started dealing was when people started ringing my phone and asking me for stuff. Yeah. And I'd be there on time. So now it was supply and demand. So therefore I was dealing.
Yeah.
I didn't realise when the switch actually happened. It's only when I was at home sleeping and somebody rang my phone and I had to get up and go and meet them, and then I realised this is a job. Yeah. I'm now actually a dealer. I'm going out in the middle of the night to meet you on some shady corner and serve you. So that's when I realised I'd actually become a drug dealer.
What I really want to know from Clyde is who's who in the supply chain.
Could you tell me, like, where, as a drug dealer, where were you in the food chain of the business? Like, who was above you, who was below you? How does it all work?
At the top, you've got your Alex Ferguson, you've got your big boss. They grow the weed. A lot of time it's grown abroad. And they ship it over here through whatever links they have, and that's in mass quantities. And then you have weed farmers here in England who are growing weed. You've got people growing weed in houses. Now, those guys, they'll sell to their manager, as it were, and he will buy it in kilos. And he'll take the kilos, he'll sell some 9 bars to somebody, a bit lower down the chain. And then you got your small-time dealers, like how I was when I was 15. You buy half an ounce, you buy an ounce, you make £20, you make £40. You buy 2 ounces, you make £100. Then you've got that.
How much were you earning then? How much was the most you'd earned from dealing cannabis?
The most I'd ever earned from selling weed would be a couple hundred in a week. When dealing started, it was the buzz of being the guy that had what people wanted. It was never about money for me. It was never about gang culture. It was people would come up to you and go, Clyde, have you got anything? And I said, yes. So I was satisfying somebody's need. I was, in a way, by doing what I was doing, I was worth something. Yeah. To this group of people that phoned my phone, I was worth something. I was the man to them. Yeah. So that was a lot of why I started dealing, and that's what happens with a lot of guys, a lot of youth.
Was that a common way for maybe people your age when you were like 15, 14, 15, for people to get a bit of money and stuff? Was that an easy option for people?
Yeah, it was. Right, in my area, there were, I'd say, 3 reasons. One was money, and some people did it for, like I say, the fame, as it were. Some people did it because that's all they knew. A lot of us, it's sad to say, we didn't know any better. That's what's around you, that's what you learn. It's a culture, you see, and it's not just a black culture, it's just a culture.
2 years ago, Clyde stopped smoking and dealing after becoming a born-again Christian. He now works as a drugs counsellor with school children.
So how's your life changed now from then? What is it now that's different from your life previously?
Everything. Everything is different. I work in the community, the same community that I was helping to destroy is the same community I'm trying to help to repair now. So I work with Hope UK, and we go into youth clubs, we go into schools, we go into churches, and we educate on the dangers of drugs, drug prevention. So it's a total turnaround.
Mm. The cash Clyde earned is one of the reasons why young people end up dealing. But the big money is made by those working higher up the chain. Today I'm meeting someone who used to make his living from growing the plant commercially.
I'm on my way to meet a cannabis farmer, which is someone who grows cannabis, sets up these farms and grows, I'm guessing, quite a quantity of it and to sell on. And for that reason, we've got to meet in a neutral location. I suppose because he's quite concerned about security and his own safety. I think this is the place now. Here we are.
He'll only meet me on condition that I don't say where he's from and I don't show his face. Let's just call him Rob.
Doesn't look like he's here yet, so I'll pull up and have a little look around.
Cannabis farmers spread out first into the suburbs and then into the countryside as the police crack down on the weed factories in cities. Now many of them operate in remote places like this, where they can grow unnoticed.
Suppose I'll just wait now. Guy Ritchie here, innit? Hi, mate.
All right.
I'm James, how you doing? You were a cannabis farmer. Could you tell me what that means?
Exactly how it sounds. I grew cannabis. I would put plants in pots. I would grow them, I would water them, I would feed them. I would make sure they were warm enough, make sure they had the right amount of light. You know, you crop them, trim them, dry them, and then pass it on to the wholesalers.
How long were you doing this for? How long were you a cannabis farmer for?
Over a decade.
So tell me a bit about the money, actually. Tell me, like, how much would you be earning from this?
Maybe 40, 50,000 a year. I mean, in this day and age, 40 grand a year is fuck all, really, isn't it?
Well, it's a decent wage.
It's a decent wage.
People think that if you're growing drugs, essentially, you're going to be on millions or whatever. And
yeah, well, I'm sure there are some people in the world who are. In fact, we all know damn well there are people in the world who are, but like not us, not my sort of people at all. I mean, the majority of people I know who are in this business are not loaded. A lot of them are very comfortable, but they're not loaded.
Rob would earn his money setting up and running a fully kitted out cannabis farm in a place like this.
so is this the sort of room that you would use?
So the sort of size, obviously, it would need a new roof on it to start and a wall, but yeah, you could use somewhere like this.
And how would you go about using the space?
Making sure it's well insulated for a start, and yeah, I'd probably put 400 or 500 plants in here with quite a bit of space between them. Makes it a bit easier to work with them. Means you can keep an eye on them and make sure they're all doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing.
What I wanted to find out, though, was did Rob work alone when he set up a factory? Or was he working for or with anyone else?
I don't consider myself being part of a gang. Yeah, I'm an individual operator.
How many people like you did you know? Say, rough guess, how many people in England, let's say, that might be doing what you're doing?
I mean, on the sort of level I was doing, tens of thousands, if not more. It is a very, very common thing, although it's getting tougher for people because the police are busting a lot more people through it now. So it's essentially what's happening now is the only people who are producing this and making money out of it now really are the organised gangs. Is when you put the frighteners on people by busting people left, right and centre, naturally most people will lose their nerve essentially and pack it in. So the only people who are prepared to do it are going to be the people who really don't give a monkeys, and they are the organised gangs. So the only thing that police are doing at the moment is putting more power and more money into the hands of the organised gangs.
Rob believes that organised gangs are behind the bulk of UK cannabis production, which is why busting factories is now a bigger priority for the police. I've been following Avon and Somerset Police for 4 weeks on Operation Viscount, which is targeting cannabis factories, not just in the cities, but in rural areas too. In Bridgewater, the police have received intelligence about a large-scale cannabis factory in the heart of the countryside.
It's a Section 23 Misuse of Drugs Act warrant, and the reason we've obtained this warrant is because we've had recent intel that they have been cultivating cannabis in the farm buildings there, and if you flip over you'll find an aerial view of where we'll be going to search.
Good to go there?
Yep, fine.
Let's go.
The police have been tipped off that there might be anywhere between 300 to 1,000 plants being grown on the farm.
Hello, DC Richardson, I'm from Bridgewater Police Station.
Yeah.
What I have here is a warrant to search these premises under Section 23 of the Misuse of Drugs Act 1971.
There are no signs of any plants being grown. If cannabis was being cultivated, it would be difficult to hide a professional setup.
I'd expect to be able to smell 1,000 plants.
Farming country. It smells of shite.
It's a fruitless 30-minute search until one policeman detects a faint smell from some haystacks. And this time, it's not coming from a cow. There is a secret building behind the haystack, which may be what they're looking for.
Oh, this is excellent. That's the result. Result and a half.
The entrance to this secret building is on the opposite side of the barn, so the officers dash round.
The building which